So we are solving the last problem in the list that we had. Essentially, this asks for a 4-digit integer from the user, and it takes in the digit and formats it to ascertain format. In this case, separate the values with commas. Now let's open our work environment and create a new file. We call this file, save that, call it for _.c, save that. So let's start. We always include our standard input-output library stdio.h, and because we'll be dealing with strings, so I will include the string header file. So the process we'll use to solve this is taking the integer number, split the integer number into individual values, then print the values individually. So let's start by plotting our main function. As usual, it does not have parameters, so that is our main function. Let's initialize the items that we have in the 4-digit number. So we are going to separate the 4-digit number into 4 items, so we have to initialize all the 4 items. So we have to character, so we convert them to character in order for us to add each individual item in that integer as a character of size 1 into each item. So num1, that will hold the first item in the number. So in this case, we have the integer as 7651. So num1 will hold 7, for example. So this will have a size of 1. num2 the same, will have a size of 1. So you can copy this and replicate it. Copy that. So this will be my num3. This is num4. So in this case, num1 will hold 7, num2 will hold 6, num3 will hold 5, and num4 will hold 1. Right? So now we initialize the integer we'll ask for the user. So this will be an integer, so integer number. Let's ask the user to enter the value. So enter the for integer value. So I'm going to ask them to enter it in the next line. Right? So at this point you might decide to validate the integer entered. If it is not for a size 4 integer, it will be replicated. You'll be asked to enter the integer again. So in this case you might use if number is less than 1,000 or greater than 999, then ask the user to enter the number again. This is just precautionary if you want to make sure the user has entered the 4-digit number. So for example, you might implement it like this. So first let's collect the number from the user. So scanf, we're collecting an integer value. Let's point that integer value to the number entered, so ampersand number, right? So if this is where your if statement comes in, if the number entered is less than 1,000 or greater than, or number greater than 999, then we print an error message to the user. So print you have entered an invalid integer. And if so, else, so if the value entered is correct, then we separate the value entered. In this case, we are going to use a function provided by the string header file known as str and copy it is. So we are going to copy the first number of the integer to the first number in our character that we have defined. So we are going to use num1 here. So then number we are going to copy to num1 will be number at index 0 and size 1, right? So after doing that, now we have to add a trailing value to num1 so that it does not remain so we're going to add trailing bytes to num1 so that it doesn't pop up any errors. So right, so now that we have done that, now we have to print num1. So let's print num1. Num1 is %s, so that is denoting it's a string, and print num1, right? So that will do it for num1. So we have to repeat this for all the numbers in the string. So we'll repeat this 4 times. So I'm just going to copy, paste, and then paste again. So this will do it for num2. This will be at position 1, so at position 2, and this will be at position 3. This is because we normally count positions in a string from 0, not from 1. So hence there is 0, 1, 2, 3 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, as we have for integer values. So that is num2, convert this to num3, that to num3, and also that to num3, convert this to num4, that to num4, that to num4. Yeah. Ensure we have the trailing semicolons. Yeah. Okay. Think this number we have to convert it to a string. Let's convert it to a string that will hold the 4 integer values. So let's call this character, and it will have a size of 4, which enters into the 4-digit number that we want. In this case, this part will be irrelevant because this is of size 4, and once the size 4 is reached, it will only take up the 4 places. So then this part is it's not needed. We do not need to validate that, so we can get rid of that. Now let's format our code. And as usual, let's return 0. So let's build this. It has no errors. Ask for the value from the user. Let's try 2 3 4 5. Enter. So that gives us a problem. Let's try to fix it. So I think the problem we have is at this point. We converted this to a string, but we didn't convert how we are collecting that number from the user. So we convert this to string also. So yeah, now let's try and run this again. Let's build that and run that. Enter the value. Still it's not providing our formatted value as it is, so come back to how we are printing it on our screen. So here we need a comma, do the same for that, and do the same for that. Build it again, then let's try it again, and finally we get the value as we want it, right? So you can try this with other values and see if you get the correct value. I hope this is helpful in solving that problem for you.